Alright, so we are back for another video, guys, and today we're gonna check out another KZ, and this is a hybrid configuration KZ 7BA1 dynamic driver configuration. And really exciting here because I haven't checked out the hybrid configuration in that price range for a long time now. So it would be nice to see how KZ changed up their sound, if they did change up their sound. And you're getting a typical KZ box here, and actually this has been in the studio for quite some time. So this is gonna be your unboxing experience, of course, opening it up. And you're getting that new design from KZ. Actually, I have seen this in the marketing materials, and it does look good for a KZ here. Maybe one of the most blingy design from KZ that I have seen yet. But you're getting still, your usual packaging here, so not the most premium. So of course, like for me, for KZ, for the more expensive side of things, I would love it to have maybe an improved packaging here. So you are getting that maybe silver plated-ish kind of looking cable. So actually, compared to maybe the cheaper, maybe some $20 KZs, this is a bit better. It's a bit more silky compared to your usual $20 cable, so that's nice. So looking at the design itself, it's actually nice looking here. Getting that piano black kind of design, that glossy black. And you're getting that gold and black trims here, so maybe one of the most blingy KZ that I have seen so far. And it looks sleek as well, so you're getting that nice KZ logo at the side and also the gold trims. So again, for KZs, they are actually improving the design of their IEMs as the months go by, so that's really nice here. So you are getting some fins here at the back as well, so maybe CCA kind of fins. So this is more of a medium size of fins for me, so you can definitely feel this in the ear, but it's nice that you're getting that contours. This is more of a monitor kind of fit to the ear, so you can definitely feel this, but the isolation might be good and stability might be good here. Also, we are now wearing it on the ear, and this is what it's gonna look like. So again, it's kind of a blingy design for me. You're getting that gold trims, that black maybe shiny design. So actually surprising that the insertion is not that deep to the ear. So it can actually be quite comfortable to wear. So again, that fins, you can definitely feel it, but it's not that big fins for me. So actually this is quite comfortable for me on the ear. So maybe a touch bigger than what I would like here, but it's near where I want it to be. So for a long listening session, you won't have an issue with this. But yeah, for the build quality, a bit better compared to your usual KZs. But this won't beat out maybe your tin audios of the world, 3-points of the world in the overall feel in the hand here. So let's try to do some measurements and listen to this, and I'm gonna give you guys my impressions in the sound. So first, I'm looking at the measurements. So it's actually a very KZ type of sound. So they didn't really change that much the sound here compared to the previous KZs, but maybe some differences is you're getting actually a bit more sub bass in the mix, and maybe you're getting a touch less 6K in the mix here, and you're getting that maybe 1 to 2K elevation that you're getting as well with maybe the CKXs of the world. So this is still a bit more fun compared to your CKXs. A bit more 12K in the mix, a bit more V compared to the CKXs. So yeah, tuning versus tuning, I still prefer the CKXs here, but let's try to listen to some tunes, and let's find out how this kind of tuning sounds like. So first impressions, there's definitely a lot of shine here on top. So the extension is a very KZ type of extension on top here. So if you're used to a KZ type of clarity on top, you will feel right at home with this. And maybe the first thing that I noticed is how big the sound stage is. So the stage is quite expansive for me here overall. This is more of a monitor type of sound to the ear, very musical to listen to, quite aggressive to listen to. So this is something that you can use for some live monitoring. That is the vibe that I'm getting here. So very lively, very monitor type of listen to the ear. So the bass quantity here is ample in the mix, so it has a bit of boom as well. It has a bit of fun to the overall sound. So this is not your tight kind of bass. This is not your accurate kind of bass. This is more of a fun musical type of bass in the mix, and a lot of sub bass here in the mix as well. So like here, for example, in 24K Bruno Mars, there's a lot of sub bass in the mix here. There's a lot of deep bass that's available for you to listen to. So for KZ, for me, this is one of the most prominent sub basses that I've listened to. Like for example, here in 24K Bruno Mars. So yeah, this is one of the most dominant sub bass that I've listened to for a KZ. So I'm still encountering some mid bass bleed here, maybe a bit more so than what I would like here. So again, this is not the most tame bass that I've listened to. Maybe another IM that reminds me of the sound here is the CA16s. So going to the mids, the vocals here recessed in the mix, maybe a bit more so than what I would like here. So this is definitely a V-shape sound through and through. The vocals, to be fair, is quite clean in the overall presentation. So the vocal presentation as well, actually quite clear for me in the mix. So the vocals is more in the brighter side of presentation, so it pushes through the mix nicely here. So even if it's recessed in the mix, you can definitely hear it in the mix nicely. So this is not your dark vocals in the mix. So for some monitoring, maybe some podcast monitoring as well, so if you're gonna monitor some vocals, you will feel right at home with this. So again, it reminds me of the CA16s. So they also have this maybe 2.5K hump here. But yeah, for me personally, I find the vocals to be a bit, recessed than what I would like here. So if it's a bit more forward in the mix, I would like this a bit better. And because you're getting a bit more mid-bass bleed than what I would like here. So yeah, the vocals is not that, front and center in the mix for me. So if you're a vocal head, this might not be your pick. Like for example, here in Wish You Were Here by Incubus, so the bass is a bit too prominent for me in the mix. But it has a bit more mid-bass bleed than what I would like here. So again, fun presentation, but it sacrifices some parts of the spectrum. So let's try some Jumping In by Joe Satriani. Let's look at the highs here. Going to the top end here, so this very KZ type of top end. Of course, you're getting the 6K elevation and also a very high 12K elevation in the mix. So for guitar tracks, ample extension there on top. Air frequencies is ample to resolve some guitar tracks here, and ample micro detail here as well, so this will resolve guitar tracks for you really nicely here. And also for acoustic tracks as well, enough air frequencies to throw around. So again, for the top end here, very KZ type of top end. If you like that clarity in the sound, that 12K, that extension on top, if you have tracks that can utilize that 12K in the mix, you will feel right at home in this. However, for me in the other sides, of course, I still find a bit of thinness for me in the cymbals here. So while the guitars have nice extension on top and resolves it really nicely, of course, with that multi-driver system, you have ample micro detail in the mix. So for me, the cymbals is lacking a bit of body for me in the overall presentation. Like for example, in September, Earth, Wind, and Fire, so the cymbals in the right side is lacking a bit of body for me. Going to the soundstage again, big soundstage here in the mix. Separation right in the middle for me. So this is not your separation monster because you're getting that maybe ample dynamic driver bass in the bottom. The separation is not as good, and because of that, maybe multi-driver system. So it has a bit of smoothness in the overall sound. So yeah, for separation, not the best here. Definitely a bit better compared to your usual dynamic drivers, but this is not a separation monster for me. Alright, so let us try to close this thing. So for the KZ ZAS, do I like it or not? So first, who is the ZAS4? So this is for those people who's into a Bassy V. Listen to the ear. This may be one of the most bassy KZs that I've listened to so far. So you're getting ample sub bass in the mix and also a bit of mid bass as well. So definitely the bass here is really prominent in the mix. And also, of course, if you're into a KZ sound as well, so you're getting ample bass and also ample extension on top here. However, for me, for the overall sound quality, especially for the price point that this is in, so I didn't particularly like it that much. So for me, first, the bass is a bit too elevated for me in the mix, that it has too much mid-bass bleed for me than what I would like. Also the mix for me as well, the vocal positioning is not that good for me. It's a bit too recessed for what I would like here, so this won't go to my top 5. So for me personally, if you're looking for a hybrid kind of sound, I do like the CKXs. Those will still be my pick. Still a KZ-ish type of sound, but I like the bass there a bit better. The vocal positioning as well a bit better for me in the overall presentation, and the overall tuning as well. I do prefer the CKXs over what you're getting with the ZAS. Alright, so that is my take with the KZ ZAS. So it's been a while since we looked at a hybrid configuration around $70. Actually, I did check out maybe more CCAs than KZs in the past year or so. Hopefully, we will see new KZs that will come out in this year, more multi-driver counterparts, and maybe the tuning will be updated to some of their KZs. Like maybe give me maybe a CCA CRN kind of tuning, but multi-driver system as well. That might be cool. Maybe add an electrostat as well for the $50 range. Having a multi-driver system, and hopefully we can see that in 2022. So yeah, of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. What do you think of the KZ ZAS? Do you have it? What do you think of it? Do you like it over your other KZs? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.